Let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture, close the eyes. Put our attention on the silence that's always there deep in the mind. Connect with that silence and become the silence. You are the silent witness. Now listen to the words of the Yoga Vasishta from the silent witness. We're in book 4, chapter 24, continuing with verse 13. The mind is called our Father because it enlightens our understanding with the light of the scriptures, and for leading us to perfection by losing itself in the Supreme Spirit. The mind that has well observed and considered all things, that is enlightened and firm in its belief, and is employed in laudable pursuits, is truly a valuable gem within the body. The mind, as a counselor of our good teaches us how to cut down the tree of our transmigration and produce the fruit of our future bliss. Such is the gem of the mind, O Ram, unless it is soiled by the dirt and filth of sin and vice. Then it requires washing and cleaning with the water of reason in order to throw its light on you. Do not dormant to cultivate reason as long as you abide in the dark abode of this world. Do not thrust yourself to every accident that awaits upon ignorant and unreasonable men. This comment of cultivating reason is very important. It is only through the intellect and agency of the mind that we can discriminate between that which is the silent witness and that which is the illusory universe. And this is the ultimate application of the intellect. To discriminate between the silence and the silent witness is extremely important. The difference between the silence and the silent witness is the most valuable of discriminations. Do not overlook the midst of error that spreads over this world of illusion, abounding with multitudes of mishaps and mischief. Try to cross the wide ocean of the world by riding on the strong boat of your reason, using your discrimination to chart the right course against the currents of your sensual desires. Every time we have a thought, every time a desire arises, we apply our reason, our discrimination, and we decide, will I go with the thought or the desire, or will I remain established in the silent witness? We continually have this opportunity. Even now, as reading the Yoga Vasishta, the opportunity presents itself many times every minute. As you're established in the silent witness, and you hear these words, it touches and activates individual karmic traces. And those individual karmic traces want to pull you back into the illusory world. So we use our discrimination to choose. Always we have the choice. Silent witness or follow the thought or desire. Initially, when we learned dharana, we learned how to master this discrimination with the very simple instruction. Think the mantra. If thoughts arise, come back to the mantra. The mantra is given to us as a vehicle of transcending, as a place for us to put our attention prior to connecting with the silent witness. The mantra is the most perfect and refined frequency of the silent witness. It is like a thread that connects us to the silent witness. So as we think the mantra, we know we're moving in the direction of the silent witness. And as we think the mantra, we're using our intellect. And we're reasoning, this is the mantra, this is a thought. This is the mantra, this is the silent witness. Then we make that transition to the silent witness, and we continue the mantra to keep the conscious thinking mind on a course of perfect right action, generating 0 additional karmic traces and balancing all karmic traces that come into contact with this perfect frequency. Know your body to be a frail flower, and all its pleasure and pain to be unreal. So never take pleasure and pain for realities. As in the instance of the snare, snake, and the matting, but remain above sorrow or anything, as in the instance of Bhima and the Basa. O high-minded Ram, give up your misjudgments of reality and of yourself and of this and that thing. Direct your understanding to the knowledge of the reality which is beyond all these. Then, by forsaking your belief and reliance in the mind, continue in your course of eating and drinking as before. When we connect with the silent witness, again and again, the silent witness zooms forth as reality. This is reality. And once that reality takes over, everything else is illusion. Chapter 25. Story of Dhamma, Vyala, and Kala, created by the demon king Sambara. Vasishta said, O intelligent Ram, who shines as the delight of mankind in this world and endeavors to attain your chief good by the accomplishment of your best objects. Do not let the example of the demon Dhamma, the snare, and Vyala, the snake, apply to your case. Try to extricate from vain sorrowing by the lesson of fortitude, as given in the story of Bhima and Basa. Rama asked, what is that parable of the snare and the snake, which you say must not apply to my case? Please tell me in order to remove the sorrows of my mind and of all mankind. And what is that example of fortitude by Bhima and Basa that I should imitate in order to get rid of all earthly sorrow? Please tell me and enlighten me with your purifying words. Like the roaring of rainy clouds serves to alleviate the summer heat of peacocks. Vasishta replied, Ram, hear me relate both of these stories so that you may derive the benefit of learning from their examples. There lived one Sambara, the chief of demons, and a profound sorcerer in an underground cavern filled with enchanting wonders, like a sea of gems. He constructed a magic city in the sky with gardens and temples of gods and artificial suns and moons emblazoning its ceiling. It was decorated with rich stones resembling the gems of Sumeru Mountain. The demon's palace was full with opulence and treasures of every kind. The beauties in his harem vied with the celestial dames in their charming strains. The trees of his pleasure garden were shaded by an awning of bright moonbeams on high. Blue lotuses blooming in his bedroom made the blue-eyed maids of his court blush. Swans in the lakes cackled about the beds of golden lotuses in them. The high branches of golden plants bore blossoms of artificial lotuses, and rows of karanja trees dropped down showers of mandara flowers on the ground. Let's briefly look at these two paragraphs and understand. Sambara was a demon. A demon is one who is fully embedded in the illusion of the world. A demon is also called in Sanskrit asura, which means against sura, against God, against the silent witness, the absolute opposite of one established in the silent witness. Now, this demon, Sambara, was doing what most people do in the world today. They strive to create a beautiful home for themselves. And some people get extremely carried away, putting all kinds of things on the ceiling that look like stars and suns and moons. You've seen that, maybe you've done it yourself. Put all kinds of beautiful furniture in the house. What we're trying to do as a demon, as an asura, we're trying to reconstruct Goloka. We have a memory of the beauty of the perfect universe. But we are trying to construct it from going outward. This is exactly the problem of the global elite today. They want to eliminate all human beings so that the world will not have any of the messy artifacts of human life, like trash or unattractive people or broken architecture. They want to eliminate all of that in the crazy idea that the world will become more like Goloka. In their obsession, they negate human life, forgetting that Goloka is filled with the companions of Krishna. That human beings are expressions of those companions of Krishna. So that's what asuras do. They tried to build some imperfect structure in the physical and pretend that this is beauty and this is Goloka. So when you look at it, you understand the stupidity of those individuals, the profound ignorance that they express. Ambara is like everyone who has no contact with the silent witness. Continuing with verse 13, his garden house consisted of both cold and hot baths, and refrigerators and fireplaces for hot and cold seasons. The Turku weapons of the demons had baffled the arms of Indra himself. Flower gardens on all sides surpassed the Mandara groves of paradise. Demon magic skill had planted rows of sandalwood trees with their encircling snakes all around. The inner compound was strewn over with gold dust and vanquished the glory of heaven. The palace courtyard was covered with heaps of flowers up to the knee. The earthen figure of Shiva that was exposed to show surpassed the image of Hari, Vishnu, holding his discus and mace. Jewels sparkling like fireflies in the inside apartment resembled the twinkling stars in the arena of heaven. The dark night of the subterranean dwelling was illuminated by 100 moonlights like the starry heaven, and he chanted his myrtle songs before his idol deity. His magic elephant drove away Indra's Aravata, and his inner apartment contained a hoard of precious treasures from the three worlds. All wealth, prosperity, grandeur, and dignity paid their homage to him. The whole host of demons honored him as their commander. The protection of his arms gave shelter to the whole body of demons. He was a receptacle of all sound judgment and the reservoir of every kind of treasure. Now continuing, established in the silent witness, begin the practice of Trimana Sanyama on the esoteric Mahamantra and balance all of the individual karmic traces that have been touched and enlivened by today's reading. Jai Gurudev.